What's up, Buffalo fans? Today, we have a lot to cover. Several great news stories. So much like the DMV, we're going to move as slowly as we can through them. So the Buffaloes continued their preparation for this week's game against the Arizona State Sun Devils. And today, we're going to talk about some of the interesting warnings that Coach Prime had for the team.
For the scout team to make sure we getting the right look, because when they get in the game and they going against Jane, and you must try to get in front of Tarzan and he start whooping you, that's the problem. So that's on me. I got to make sure we getting the right challenge at practice, because those guys that's giving you that look, you got to be real, man. They got to come at you. They got to go at you.
The one thing I love about Coach Prime is that you never have to worry about a lack of humor. Unlike a lot of coaches who act all serious about every single thing and have the personality of a doormat, Coach Prime loves using comedy to teach. And even though Coach Prime has to get serious sometimes and tell you exactly what he thinks, he's also going to add some levity to help the truth bomb medicine go down. So grab a drink, sit back, and get ready, because today we're going to talk about Coach Prime's warning to the team. So the main warning that Deion Sanders had for his team this week has been about their slow starts. After starting off with a lightning quick pace against TCU in the first game, Colorado slowed down in their next 4 games against Nebraska, Colorado State, Oregon, and USC. Here's what Coach Prime had to say to the team.
Because every play counts, every series counts, every down counts, everything counts with us. And you guys got to understand that right now. We can't meander through the game and just decide to hit the switch and turn it on. So we're not going to do that anymore, and I'm going to take the responsibility. We good? Yes, sir.
So we all know that Colorado needs to get off to a fast start against Arizona State. We'll talk more about the Sun Devils in just a moment, but it really doesn't have a lot to do with Arizona State or the offense that they run or the players that they have. This is what Coach Prime wants the team to do. It's not about them. It's about us. You remember our videos from earlier in the week when we told you that? It's not about others' expectations. It's about ours. It's not about what others do. It's about what we do. And that's the same situation here. Coach Prime knows that a quick start does a lot to hinder, hamper, and slow down your opponent. It also gives you confidence through the rest of the game. It also doesn't have you expending all kinds of energy just to get back in the game like they did last week against USC. It lets you kind of just operate from the front. And that's where Coach Prime wants his team to be. The good news is about this is that at least one player took this warning to heart. He was also warning Colorado about the Sun Devils head coach, Kenny Dillingham. Take a look at this right here.
Got great history. I don't know if he want me to tell this story, but I was assembling a staff once upon a time. I'm not going to tell you who for what, but he was a part of it. And we communicated quite a bit. And I was happy with every step that he's taken, because I know he's that guy. I know he's been more than capable. So when I saw him get this opportunity, I was ecstatic. You know, then we saw him at saw one another at the Pac-12 meetings, and that was like, yeah, that embrace was awesome to me, because I know his climb, and I know what kind of man he is, and he is great for that program. He's great for college football. He is a tremendous mind, offensively, tremendous mind, but he's going to be a great head coach, man. So I have the utmost respect and love and admiration for him, because we were going to work together at one point.
Just thoughts on the ASU film that you've seen?
Excuse me?
Thoughts on the ASU film?
I mean, they play tough. They don't give up. It ain't no quit in them, of course. I mean, that's who he is. They're like us. They're building something that's going to be tremendous. You just got to keep watching the story and see how it unfolds. But you can't take a team like that lightly whatsoever, negate the records, negate all that nonsense, and understand this team is building something, and they're going to be phenomenal. I believe in Coach Dillingham tremendously.
Now, that might not sound like a warning, but if Coach Prime is saying his opponent for the week has a great offensive mind, you already know what he's warning his players behind closed doors. He's warning that they are going to be playing a offensive mad scientist, and they better be coming out expecting that. Kenny Dillingham is a very good coach, and I've gotten a chance to watch a ton of him in action. And he's had Arizona State in some games that they really shouldn't have been in due to his offensive prowess. Now, is just his offensive play calling going to be enough to beat this team from Boulder? Probably not. But he is the kind of coach that can scheme guys open. They can take advantage of weaknesses or missing players and do a really good job of keeping his team very, very competitive. I think the warning of Coach Dillingham and the respect that Coach Prime has for him, not only to the public, but also to his team behind closed doors, is something that we will monitor and we will watch, and something we wanted to make you aware of. Now, we normally do strengths and weaknesses here, but I want to take this week to do something a little bit different. We're just going to tell you a little bit about Arizona State. We'll make a prediction, and then we'll get out of here. But Arizona State got a week 1 win against Southern Utah. Not a powerhouse by any means, but that was on a Thursday night that kicked off college football in August. And they haven't won another game since then. They went over in the month of September. They're looking to turn the page a little bit in October and get back on the winning side of things. But they've played pretty close games against Power 5 competition. They lost to Oklahoma State by 2 scores. They lost to USC by 2 scores. And they lost to Cal last week by just 3 points. Now, Cal's not a good team either. And Arizona State, again, at 1-4, is a team that is trying to find themselves under a brand new head coach. Right now, Arizona State has a lot to overcome up top. First of all, their quarterback, Jaden Rashada, is sidelined for probably a couple more weeks. He's been out for this will be his 3rd game out. He's probably going to be out anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, and so they've moved on to their backup. He's a promising young true freshman who Arizona State is very excited about, and it's kind of unfortunate that he is sidelined, but we know a little bit about that as well, having some guys that have missed some time for us too. Trenton Burgett is completing 60% of his passes. He hasn't thrown a touchdown yet, and he does have 2 interceptions. Cameron Scadabo is their leading rusher. He's got 318 yards on 80 carries. He's got 4 touchdowns on the ground. He also has the 2nd most receiving yards on the team as well. Now, they're a team that is fighting extremely hard for first-year head coach Kenny Dillingham, and that is to be commended. They will absolutely get up for this game, and though there are questions around this Arizona State team, they'll be in this, and Coach Dillingham will have them ready for it. There are questions around the heat and how Colorado may be able to manage that, or if that'll play a massive advantage in Arizona State's favor. But I want to tell you guys something. They will get up for this. Colorado is not sneaking up on anybody. I think, honestly, after their game against TCU, that was the last time that they were ever going to sneak up on somebody. And so we'll see what things look like, but I expect Arizona State to play their absolute best game when the Colorado Buffaloes come to town. All right, I want to give you my prediction, and then we'll get out of here. Just before I do that, let me give some love to our friends over at Prize Picks. We've told you about Prize Picks a ton. They are a daily fantasy game where you pair players, you select more or less based on their weekly projections. The Arizona State game is this weekend. If you like Shador's more and you like Xavier Weaver's more, pair those guys together and make some money. Use our code BUFFS, that's BUFFS, for a 100% deposit match up to $100. You don't have to go deposit $100. You can do 10. They'll give you another 10 with it. Go put 20 down on a couple of our buffs and make some money with us this weekend. Prize Picks is a ton of fun. They're the best way to have action on games in states like Florida, Georgia, Texas, California, where so many of you are. I've gotten word that some of you are already making money over there. So go get on the Prize Picks app. Use our code BUFFS, that's BUFFS, to get in on the action. All right, score prediction for this weekend. Man, I think Colorado has such an opportunity this weekend to really move past what was a tough game. I would not be super surprised if Colorado got out to a quick start. That has been the focus by Coach Prime and for Coach Prime for this team this weekend, and I truly believe that they will start a little bit more quickly than they have in the past. They've made some mistakes early in games. They've had some interceptions and fumbles that has cost them and made games closer than they should have been. but I kind of like them to build on some of that momentum they had last week at the end of the Southern Cal game and take that into Arizona. What I truly do expect, though, is I expect for the emotion and the weight of last week's game to get to them a little bit. I think they will face some adversity in this game. I think they will face some challenges in this game, and it will be up to Colorado to rise up and respond to those. Would not shock me at all if Colorado goes into the half with a pretty good lead, and then Arizona State roars back, not all the way, but maybe scores once or twice to get things a little bit closer. And that is where Colorado will really be tested late in the game. Can they put it away? Can they extend the lead late when they need to and win this game going away? I think the answer to that is yes. I think Colorado wins this. I think they cover the spread fairly easily. Again, wouldn't be surprised if they take a lead to the half and then Arizona State roars back. But I've got Colorado winning this thing 38-17. Now, I'm 3-2 on the year, just like our Buffs. It was hard for me to try and pick against them in a couple of games. I couldn't do it. I got really excited toward the end of that USC game, thinking not only we'd win, but that my prediction I could flaunt a little bit. Wasn't meant to be. I think this week we find a way to win the game 38-17. I think we take the punch. I think, Arizona State's going to give it their best effort, punch us in the mouth. We respond well. We find a way to win the game. Going away, get some guys some playing time there late. I'm really excited to see what some more of the young guys can do. Excited to hopefully see Shiloh back out there. So I think it's a good day for us on Saturday. We will cover this team over the next couple of days either way, but then obviously we'll recap it for you on Sunday morning. So make sure that you're locked in with the channel. Make sure you're using the Prize Picks app. Use our code BUFFS, BUFFS. Thank you guys for all the love and the support on the channel. Let's go get that win on Saturday. Go Buffs.